If you're a working millennial in 2025 and burnout never really goes away, you're not imagining it. Recovery doesn't feel hard, it actually feels impossible. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why it is impossible. It is set that way for us. Hey, yo, I'm yapping here. What the? Like, subscribe, let's get it. Millennials are definitely feeling the sting of overwork and underpay, arguably worse than any other generation. But why millennials? Not shockingly, the culprit's burnout. Shockingly, however, the prescribed methods by society that are supposed to help remedy it are scammy. And I'm going to go over 3 reasons why that is, at least to me, a 32-year-old working millennial with a full-time job. The first one, probably the easiest one to go over, is that the fixes to burnout just cost money. And I don't mean like burnout fixes should be free or anything like that, but the fact that it costs money to feel better while we're going through one of the hardest times to have money, it feels like a circular logic, right? It's like a vicious cycle that we're stuck in, and we are just we're stressing out further over trying to heal ourselves from burnout with money that we don't have, as opposed to enjoying the time that we do have when we're not working, which isn't a lot already. But one of the main issues that I have, and number one reason for this video as to why I feel like the money to fix burnout is that it's a circular trap. It's cyclical. The fixes to burnout cost money, which causes overspending money or causes stress overspending money in general, which compels you further to work more to make more money so you'll be able to afford help for your burnout. And if you were following along with that complicated circular logic, you kind of see where I'm going with it. It's a vicious cycle that millennials are trapped in. And no, this doesn't exclude other age groups or any other working class people. It doesn't exclude the boomers, even though it's partly coming from your generation's work ethic. It doesn't exclude Gen X, even though you guys are kind of in a position to be at least okay compared to millennials who've had time before things kind of went haywire. And it's tangentially related to Gen Z because you guys are kind of in the same boat as us. But I want to focus specifically on millennials. And when I'm going with that in this vicious cycle that we're trapped in as millennials specifically, one of the things that would work for our parents was taking a vacation, which is, taking PTO, taking time off work, get away from the hustle and bustle of it all to unwind and recalibrate. The general consensus for that was you had some hard-earned PTO that'll get your body right and allow you to relax. But now, when taking PTO means that your hours are docked and your clock hours are shorter, means that quarter you may miss out on a bonus that you desperately needed. 1 to 2% bonus of your salary or something like that, type loose financial ends. Maybe save some or build a savings account, stuff like that. That stuff's kind of out of reach when you factor in how PTO works for millennials and factor in the further point of the dollar and the spending power that we don't have anymore. The time that we take to try to relax is weaponized against us in so many ways because we just don't really get the time to relax. We're kind of just taking time away from ourselves in the future, so we'll have to work harder in the future, if that makes sense. And when using the logic of PTO costing money, it costs you more to have taken that vacation, and then you pay for it with lost time. Very much damn if you do, damn if you don't take that time to rest yourself. So I think that's one of the first things, or that's the first step as why burnout recovery is a scam for millennials specifically. The juice just isn't worth the squeeze at the end of the day. One thing that I want to talk about now that's less talked about is how information overload is a lot of psychic damage, and we don't really get to talk about it at all. The psychic damage that we are millennials that we're going through right now is kind of insane compared to any other generation before us. We're currently raising the next generation, as millennials raising Gen Alpha kids or whatnot, while parenthood has its own set of challenges, which I'm familiar with. The sleep deprivation, the run emergencies, the boogers on your sleeve that you swore you wiped off earlier are still there from having a kid. That's all natural, that's normal, and that's fine. And honestly, we're probably one of the better generations prepared to do that, with a lot of us having, oversaw our younger brothers or siblings or what have you when we were younger, and we're helping out our parents. I'm sure we're all familiar with that. But what we're not familiar with is the constant overload of information that is manufactured to get a response out of us. It's exhausting and it's constant. It's never ending, it seems like. These atrocities left and right, whether it be political upheaval, economic upheaval, social upheaval, or a combination of the three, which it generally seems to be that more often than not lately. it's just exhausting. And the worst part about it is we still have to clock in to work, but none of that has happened. Like none of it is happening and none of it is going to affect us. Meanwhile, our wages are stagnated from the economy taking a dump on us. Our liberties are being stripped away in one way or another because of a lot of social events that are happening to us. And regardless of whether it affects you now, I guarantee it'll affect you later in one way or another. And then we also just, have to deal with the constant onslaught of just the having to respond to it all, which seems like that's the default for a lot of people today. And again, the worst part about it is we still have to go to work. We still have to clock in. Like none of this is happening. So I have to file our quarterly reports, our monthly, daily reports. Like none of this is happening. If we get a tick on our performance because we're sad that things are happening around us and we aren't doing our 100% best that we, signed up to do, then we have to figure out how to explain that without dropping the bomb that is this world event is happening and I cannot deal with it right now. But I'm here because I have nowhere else to be, and it's the only constant of my life, which is work, which is where we spend most of our time. It's the two realities don't really collide in a healthy way. They very much are parallel to each other, meaning that it exists outside of work, but it does not exist inside of work. And if you were to bring outside of work inside of work, then you are in the wrong, according to HR, more often than not. So now, not only am I stressed from my job, which is stressful because we are getting an uneven workload a lot of the times, I'm stressed because I have to maintain the facade of nothing is happening at work while everything is happening. My job is actually dependent on me keeping all of that inside, bottling it up, which is the exact opposite of what I'm told to do during therapy. All the Disney movies we watch, every feel-good piece of media we watch tells us to express ourselves and, share what we're feeling. We have to actively not do that unless we risk our position at work from oversharing or being too much or being overbearing at the workplace, which is not the place to do that, contrary to what they want you to believe. So my job is literally depending on how well I can express my natural response to historical event number 27 while still performing at 100% of my effort, while still being underwhelmed by my paycheck, which brings me into the next point of it. And bringing this into part 3 here is that what used to work for us to remedy these L's and just kind of get through everything is, we used to get a little treat at the end of the week. But the reality of it is I'm going to need more than a little treat, dog. I'm actually going to need a big treat. I'm going to need a bunch of treats to get through this. And the problem is that the handler, the people who are giving out the treats, don't got no more treats. So what are we to do, right? The little treats just don't even hit the same anymore. For example, I used to relish the end of my week, get a bag of chips, a jug of juice, and a sweet treat. Used to give me right for under $5. Now, I'm not sure if the price of snacks has them tasting not as good or if the food actually just is worse, which probably is the truth. Shouldn't be eating Flame House anymore. All that Red 40 is going to get me one day. It's probably both, though. I can hardly justify the treat when the same combo that used to be $5 goes from about $8 to $10 at any given time. Little treats aren't doing it anymore because they're not little. The price isn't, at least. And it's just feeling that way for everything. It extends to video games. It extends to TV shows because most of our TV shows are being blocked off by streaming services who want to prioritize more have proprietary ownership over that show. So it only goes to that particular streaming service, meaning that they can take that show and put commercials into it, charge more money for whatever reason they want to, which is just higher than what we initially paid for it. And none of it's working anymore. I can't really sit down and watch my shows that I want to because it's all on Boo Boo Plus or Dingy TV, and I only have the subscription to Hoopla Premium. And even I have commercials on my Hoopla Premium now. Some of the things that we used to do to get us through just really aren't doing it anymore. And nobody seems to be addressing the fact that that's just not working. It's like we're trying to fix an ever-growing problem with a shrinking set of tools, if that makes sense. It just doesn't match up. To close this out, because I don't want to keep you here, I want you to have fun with me, and I'm glad you're enjoying your time here, but I want you to go find your next little treat that's going to get you through your next day. The millennial burnout is not exactly a mindset problem. When people tell millennials to just recover from burnout, that's what they really mean. Figure it out on your own, which I'm sure we're all used to hearing at this point as millennials. We're burnt out because the system demands constant output while giving us fewer and fewer rewards, less security, zero time to process life as it actually happens.
It's not laziness, it's not failure, and it's definitely not because we didn't try hard enough. We're honestly probably one of the hardest working generations in recent mindset because we are still one of the generations constantly showing up to work. And given how young we are, we have a big trajectory of that just being the norm for us for a long period of time. So at the end, it's going to even out to us probably being one of the hardest working generations ever, to put it bluntly. If anything, showing up every day under these conditions is an accomplishment in itself, which we can give that to ourselves, pat ourselves on the back, and relish in that resilience that we have. Millennial burnout isn't a mindset problem, it's currently structural. It's until that point is acknowledged, all the little fixes will feel exactly like what they are. Expensive distractions from problem we didn't create. If this hits close to home, you're not alone, and you're not crazy, you're a millennial, and you're dealing with one of the worst situations we have to deal with so far. And I'm proud of you for making it this far. Give me a like, give me a comment, let me know what you want to hear next. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know if I'm wrong. I could be totally wrong, and that's perfectly fine. I would love to talk to you about it. Drop it in the comments below, give me a subscription, and then be on the lookout for my source and my next video coming soon. Much love. Y'all have a good one.